Hey, Jan here. In this session, I'm going to take you through my $2,000 niche landing page prompt template for Claude AI using Claude Code. And it's from a previous video that I did, but I wanted to go get into some more detail here on this document. I'm going to take you through the framework. I'm going to share the prompt with you and the structure on how you do this. And then I'm going to give this to you at the end. So make sure you follow along. Let's dig in here. The power of Claude cannot be underestimated, of course. The recent news of investments and growth in the AI marketplace is, of course, insane. Claude is taking the market by storm. There's other players out there, of course. We have ChatGPT, Gemini, GenSpark, Manus. I cover that on the channel here, but Claude is the leader, no doubt. So I'm going to share with you how you, as a coach, consultant, an agency owner, an entrepreneur, a freelancer even, to create these custom landing pages that you can sell for several $100s up to $2,000, depending on how this is positioned. And that includes what you can do on Upwork as well. And you can be very productive with this, as you'll see here in a moment. If you're new to this channel, thank you for watching this video. Welcome. And let's dig in. So using this framework here, you want to replace this with your own variables, of course. I'm going to give you an example of one further down, but let's just get right into the framework. I'm going to use a local SEO landing page structure here. One of the things you want to make sure when you do this is that you actually segment your pages so it's not just blandware. You want to be very specific, targeting the audience that you're going after with a message that matches that audience. This is the classic Dan Kennedy message to market match. The framework here that we're going to use is the context, outcome, constraints, source material, and standards framework, which I talk about in a previous video where we're using Manus, another AI tool. Okay, the biggest here is source material and standards. I want to call that out because most people underdeliver in this area. And a vague prompt like make me a landing page for electricians example, it's generic slop. You don't want that. It's not helping you. It's not helping your client. It's not helping your lead generation or sales schemas. But when you start feeding Claude real client language, actual pain points in the niche's own words, and a checklist for self-grading the output, yeah, this is exactly what you want to do. So my previous example was from a landing page for a plumber. And you can go back and look at that. There's a link below this video as well, so you can see an exact example of what this ended up looking like. Okay, so section 1 here, there's section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is the raw prompt. Let's get into it. The context, first one in the framework. I am, and here you insert your role, for example, freelance SEO consultant or marketing agency owner who wants to attract specific niche client. For example, HVAC companies, divorce attorneys, med spas as clients, customers. This landing page needs to land in a WordPress site as a self-singles contained HTML block. So it must include all CSS inline, no external style sheets, have 0 JS dependencies. That's JavaScript beyond simple vanilla interactions like an FAQ accordion. Now, in that previous video, I'm showing you how to integrate this to WordPress, a very powerful and popular CMS, but you can run this as a standalone as well and upload it with an FTP, file transfer protocol, straight to a server as a standalone page. All you have to do is hook it up to a calendar and or an email system, which is actually not that hard to do. The audience, so we're going to continue here under the context. The audience reading this page is, and then you describe them specifically, for instance, owners of small HVAC companies, usually 1 to 5 employees or 15, who are good at the trade but don't think of themselves as marketers. They are skeptical of agencies that overpromise and respond to plain language over jargon. So this is speaking their language, very key. The outcome, build a complete single file HTML landing page. I am a developer, so I tend to include some of these coded nomenclatures, but you don't need to do that. And that it has one punchy specific headline that speaks directly to this niche's biggest pain point, not a generic grow your business headline. walks through a hero with a CTA, call to action above the fold. So you want to make sure that button shows up, or the form above the fold early on the page, right? That means also it's going to be looking at both desktop and mobile and make sure it's formatted to be showing up top of fold. The pain point specific to this niche: services offer breakdown, how it works, 3 steps, social proofs, testimonials, FAQ, and final CTA. Now, this is a recommendation out the gate. We are going to talk about reprompting when we deal with AI. We do it all the time. That is called tweaking in another language, or just basically optimizing. Uses real niche relevant photography. You can use Unsplash. That's fine. Not generic stock business photos. Here, you can connect to Midjourney. You can connect to Nano Banana. And when I say connect, meaning you're actually custom making those images and uploading it to Claude, saying use these images for these particular niche relevant photos. Is mobile responsive with a CTA visible without scrolling on the 375px screen? Again, some details that you don't necessarily have to input. That's just me. Include a working FAQ accordion in vanilla JS. This is, again, a little more technical. You don't have to do this. It's basically a way for me to display information, more information on the page with an accordion rather than having it all be scrollable. Constraints: single HTML file, pastable directly into a WordPress custom HTML block, no build tools, frameworks, or external JavaScript libraries, keep total length manageable, prioritize conversion over exhaustive feature list. Any brand constraints that could possibly go in here: use color as the primary accent, avoid M dashes. That's the kind of double dashes that you see as typical AI output. Keep the tone conversational, not corporate, etc. The etc. here is for you to expand upon this if you need to. The source material. So we're moving through the framework here very quickly. Use the following as the foundation for copy and structure. Here, you want to paste in your bio credentials, past client results, pricing model, or a rough outline of your offer. If you don't have any past client results, that's okay. Don't include it. You don't want to fake anything here. Paste 2 to 3 real or representative client pain points in this niche. The more specific and in their language, the better. The headline and pain section will be better if you do it that way. And optional, you can paste a competitor's landing page URL or notes on what others in this space are doing, so Claude can differentiate rather than copy. And I really don't like the word copy here. Modeling is a better term, because you are looking at your competitors as a baseline, and then you can use that and enhance it to your particular circumstance. And we do this a lot. We like to look at the competitors. We'll actually literally take entire documents, pages, text, and URLs and asking it specifically. So this, where it says optional, is actually a very powerful addition. We might want to change this to non-optional, but it does require a little more work, and we're trying to crank through this as quickly as possible. Standards. Before finishing, check your own work against these. Could someone in this exact niche read the headline and immediately think, yeah, that's my problem? If it could apply to any business, then rewrite it, because that means it's just going to be slop out there. Slopware, we'll call it. Does every pain point use language this audience actually uses, not marketing jargon? For example, a plumber says Roto-Rooter is burying me in the search listings. They don't say, we see increased competitor pressure in the marketplace. That is corporate speak. You don't want it. Is the CTA visible without scrolling on both desktop and a 375px mobile screen? That's what I talked about at the top. You want to make sure that it's compatible on both, but also that the CTA is available early and also more naturally throughout the copy. Read the testimonials out loud. Do they sound like a real niche professional talking, or like marketing slop or copy wearing a costume? Yes. So here is where you want to really get real, because you don't want this to be just anything that sounds like copyware out there and it's not real. Plus, you being caught lying is not a good thing, and it doesn't feel good. You're going to lose sleep. Add your own non-negotiables here. No M dashes that I talked about. Must mention specific regulation, trend relevant to the niche, must include pricing language, etc. That's an optional one. Some will include pricing language, others will not. Depends on the industry here. Okay, so that basically calls out the framework that we looked at the top, the context, outcome, constraints, source material, and standards. As simple as that sounds, you can see it gets involved here. This is not a write me a landing page sentence. This is multiple paragraphs, and we're going to reprompt and retune, refresh, re-optimize to make it literally perfect. Now, what we'd like to do here is we want to use it so that we can preview it, and Claude Code, because we're doing a landing page here, is the better option for you. You can draft a lot of this inside just simply the Claude AI system, which is either in a browser or desktop. But we like Claude Code desktop because it will give you instant results, and we like speed, and we want it to be perfect. So here is section 2. We filled it in for an electrician's example. Let's go through it. Context. I'm a freelance SEO consultant who wants to attract residential electrical contractors as clients. This page needs to go into WordPress as a single HTML, no external dependencies beyond Google Fonts. The audience is owner-operators of electrical companies, usually 2 to 10 employees, who get most of their work from referrals and are skeptical of marketing guys who talk in buzzwords instead of results. Remember, we talked about that up at the top. Don't want to do that. Outcome. Build a single file HTML landing page that opens with a headline about homeowners searching electrician near me during a power outage or panel upgrade, not a generic grow your business online headline. Include sections for hero with CTA. That's a hero shot picture typically here. Pain points, losing jobs to bigger franchise electricians, home advisor lead costs, slow seasonal gaps, services breakdown, panel upgrades, EV charger installs, rewiring, emergency calls, how it works, testimonials, FAQ, final CTA, mobile first, CTA, above the fold. So that's your outcome in this particular example for electricians. Next, single file, WordPress, paste ready, no frameworks, no M dashes, accent color should feel electrical. Amber yellow against navy works well here. Again, you will know what to type in here because you will have tested and previewed this inside Claude Code, that is, so you know exactly what works. Keep copy conversational and specific, not corporate. Source material. I have helped 40 plus trade businesses rank locally. Average client sees 3x call volume in 90 days. Here's a past client code. I went from 2 calls a week to being booked solid for panel upgrades. Dave, electrician in Tampa. Most electricians I talk to complain about home advisors selling their leads to 4 competitors at once. So clearly, this copy here is about a marketing agency who basically is trying to attract SEO leads and SEO work for local business in the electrician space. Standards. Headline must be specific to electricians, not swappable with plumber or HVAC tech. Pain pause. And by the way, this is important because this is segmentation. You want to be very specific about who you're talking to, as I mentioned. Pain points must use real contractor language, not agency speak. CTA visible above the fold. Talked about that. Mobile and desktop. Photos must show actual electrical work, panels, wiring, EV chargers, not generic office stock photos. I see a lot of this generic stock photos out there. Bring your camera. Have one of your employees come with you. Take real live shots from the field. No M dashes anywhere in the copy. And boom, we have completed the framework for an actual example for a freelance SEO consultant in the local space and using Claude Code to develop this page. I want you to use this. I want you to apply this, and I want you to tell me your success. And if you need any help with this, just make a comment below this video and I will get back to you. I just love working on this stuff. I have a lot of experience in this stuff. I feel I have some great value to give you. And if you're watching my videos and continue to do, much thanks to you. I will keep it going on here. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.